Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of the Way We Think podcast. And today I kind of just wanted to talk about how this all got started. Why am I starting a podcast? Because I'm going to be honest, I never thought I would. I never thought I'd start a podcast. Most of my life, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Which is kind of ironic because I get a lot of people DMing me or talking to me. Even some of my coaching clients are like, Zane, you look like you got it all figured out, man. And I'm like, I do? Because I don't have shit figured out, man. No, I do. I have a lot of things figured out. And mainly just, how I was able to structure my life, think, and sort of change my life. Apply all these little habits, tricks, tactics, whatever you want to call it. And, and I just got about thinking, I'm like, I need something. You know what I need something more I can offer the people that follow me, support me, the people that use me for inspiration, motivation, people that look up to me. I'm a coach to some people. I coach people on, life and the way they think and their mindset. I'm a fitness coach. I've inspired tons of people through YouTube videos, gaming videos, vlogs, music, all those old OG days. I used to do all those different things, and it kind of just revolved into, I basically turned myself into like an encyclopedia, so to speak. It's like, man, like what the fuck is this dude? And that's a question I kept asking myself. I'm like, who am I? It's a question we ask ourselves all the time. Who am I? And you kind of got to figure it out. And it's ironic because the term figuring it out, right? That's a never-ending term. That's something you're going to do for the rest of your life is try to figure it out. Your parents, your family, your friends, they're down on you. They're yelling at you like, yo, figure it the fuck out. Figure it the fuck out. You're like, fuck you. No, you're 40, 50, 60 years old. You're still figuring it out. And, you realize figuring it out is something you do throughout your entire life. We need to start looking at life as level of experience rather than looking at life as a level of age, a level of, how old are you, right? Because your age does not define what you've done, what you've been through, what you've reacted to. In a sense, yeah, maybe you can guesstimate through your age. Obviously someone who's 20 is going to be going through a lot more than someone who's 10, for example. But you look at someone who's in their 40s or 50s compared to someone who maybe in their 20s or 30s, their lives could have gone completely different paths. And, it was just this thing where I kept thinking, I get all these thoughts, all these ideas, and all these concepts in my head. And I never really knew how to put them out there because I didn't want to make a video. I didn't want to put a camera up and just start talking about some random ass shit that nobody probably cares about. And, I realized I had this pattern, all these things I thought about, all these things that, fucked with me, so to speak. They all revolved around the same thing, your mindset, the way we think. And that term, that saying, the way we think, kept coming into my mind over and over again throughout my life. The way we think. The way we think. Oh, it's the way we think. Why do we get jealous at certain people? Why do we become naive? Why do we become arrogant? Why do we become ignorant in a lot of new term society? All this new technology, all these things, and you deny so much and you become so naive. Why do we do that? Okay, there's this, idea of nature versus nurture. And a lot of the times we behave certain ways because it's our nature. Little do we know, right? We don't pay attention to that. We don't ask ourselves why we said the things we said. We don't ask ourselves why we did the things we did. We just, throw ourselves into this corner and go, oh, that's just who I am. That's how I felt, whatever it might be. And I'm like, there's so much into this. There's so much science. There's so much thought into this. And the more I did some research, right, I started reading books. I started, indulging in all these different things, learning all kinds of different things, watching videos, doing all this sort of weird fucking guru research of the human mind or behavior. And, after reading all these books, doing all these different things, I soon realized that as complex as the human mind is, people are code. people are code, right? You have some outliers, people you can never predict, people you can never understand, people you can never relate to or understand why or how or, what is it that feeds them, right? There's some people that just stand out. You don't get them. You're serial killers, psychopaths, maniacs. Right, but we look at the majority of society. We look at, your neighbors, your friends, your family, the people you see left and right. These people, including yourself, follow a written code between the human mind. The human mind is a written code, and I discovered, there is so much into this. There's so much about this. And it baffled me. It baffled me because I used to be in a really, really dark place. I was depressed. I was suicidal. I went through a really bad breakup. I had problems with my family and being rejected, feeling neglected, not knowing, who I was, and just feeling like the disappointment, the bad child, the reject, whatever it was, not feeling like you fit in anywhere. Like you don't belong, living this life, waking up day to day like, fuck, I'm a mistake, right? That thought went through my head all the time. And there was a point in my life where, it all hit me at one time. I had bad relationships with my family. I had a really bad relationship with my partner. My relationship with my friends was on edge, and one of our best friends had just, taken his own life, and my life felt like it collapsed in under 24 hours. Everything I had known just completely changed in a matter of seconds. And there's this idea, right, that you hear people say this all the time, especially in religion or whatever it may be, that to believe in God, you must also believe in the devil, right? Okay, well, reverse that. To believe in the devil, you must also believe in God, right? Look at life and the way we think. To believe that bad things can happen, you must believe that good things can happen. Right? To believe you can be in the worst spot in your life in under 24 hours, you must believe that you can be in the best spot of your life in 24 hours. And it was all these principles, all this, psychology and philosophy that really just started to change my life and change the way I thought. And, I found myself after going through all this hardship, after going through all this bullshit, after dealing with all these, hells and horrors of my life, I decided, I was like, no, I'm looking at the world in the wrong perspective. Something I believe, something I do, some way in the way I think needs to change. And I pillared my entire life around that. I surrounded myself with that mindset, that concept, that ideology, that if I can change the way I think, I can change the way I act. And by changing the way I act, I inevitably change the way I live and inevitably change my life. Right? I didn't have money. I didn't have, tons of opportunities just lying around to change my life. I didn't have a whole lot of resources. I basically just had me in my mind. A lot of the things I had pursued kind of died off. And, it was this entire thought in my head, right? Because, when I was 12, I started doing YouTube and I had a gaming channel. And I did gaming videos for about a year. My mom hated it. She gave me like an hour to record and edit on a single day if I ever decided to make a video. And looking back at that, making a video in an hour from start to finish was the worst idea ever. And I remember making videos for about a year and that shit just didn't go anywhere. Nowhere. I had 70 subscribers. And then I made a new gaming channel. Same thing happened. I started doing commentaries. I had a little more time to edit. My mom started to get a little more lenient on it. Same thing though. Man, it went nowhere. And then I made a new channel and it went nowhere. And I made a new channel and it got somewhere, but basically nowhere. I had a little more subscribers than the last few, but not by a lot, and didn't go nowhere. Now I'm like 14, 15. and I make a new gaming channel. And it does all right. It does okay. And finally, I just got this idea. I'm like, fuck, dude, I need to mix it up. And I started vlogging. And after vlogging, my channel, took a bit of a blow up. It took off a little bit. And then I started rapping, and it took off even more. And all of a sudden, I was gaining tens, thousands, 20,000 subscribers in a day. And then it all kind of plateaued. The progress stopped, and it was just me and the content. And that's when I realized, I'm like, man, I don't even like this shit. I don't even like vlogging. Half the time, I don't even like music. People want me to put out music because they like the way I rapped, but I wasn't making music for them. I was making music for myself. It was how I coped. A lot of my music was me trying to communicate with my mom. If you look at a lot of my songs and, the old songs I used to produce, like If I Die, Anxiety Talks, Pseudo Roses, a lot of those songs are kind of an insight or a backstory, a message between the lines of me trying to communicate to my mom in how I was feeling. But I didn't even like the music. So you take all that away, and what is left? Just me, clueless as to where I want to take my life. And of course, I got millions of messages saying, why'd you stop? You could have been so successful. Why'd you do this? You could have been so... Fuck success. We're talking about happiness here. Right? Why? What? How the fuck do you measure success? By money? Really? Now don't get me wrong. Money's going to make life easier. But if you don't figure out what the fuck it is you love to do, if you don't get your life straightened out and who you are, that money is going to do nothing but distract you from the problems, right? That's what money is. Money is a distraction. Sure, it's a blessing. It's a blessing when you have your life structured. But when you have an instructurable life, when you have a life that's complete fucking chaos, that money is not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to distract you. It's going to hide you from your inevitable problems you're going to deal with for the rest of your life. And by that turn, you've spent so much time distracting yourself that you're not even willing to take action to change your life. And you've trapped yourself. And, all these thoughts kind of poured into my head as life went on and all this stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure out what the fuck I like to do. I'm going to figure out what the fuck I like to do. Fuck the fans. Fuck the money. Fuck the bullshit. Fuck the drama. I'm going to do what's good for me, because if I can figure out my life, maybe I can help others figure out theirs. Right? Because you have to understand, I was making all these videos and I was entertainment and whatever. And it was nice because you had people that would message you and DM you and say, oh man, that video really changed my life. It's really helping me get through these bad scenarios, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, how? How? I made a video of me and my friends maybe fucking around or doing dumb shit in public stores. How? Please tell me how that helped you deal with bullies or bullshit. How that helped you in your life. And everyone had the same answer. Oh, help me get through it. And that's when the truth kind of hit me. I'm like, no. It was a distraction. It was a distraction to what you know. Don't get me wrong. It puts off a good mood. You have a bad day. You get to come home, watch your favorite show, and it's amazing. But it's a distraction nonetheless. Right? And distractions, things you can enjoy, they're not good for you unless you have your shit figured out. And I'm like, dude, my fucking content is not helping you. Like, I'm glad my content puts you in a good mood and gets you happy and makes you feel good. Like, that's a blessing to me. But I would rather permanently make you feel good than put you through this temporary cycle. Because you have to think, if my videos or if my content, if my stuff, helps these people, what happens when I go away? What happens when I go away? All of a sudden, these people are drawn to a new distraction, and they just find themselves, chasing around the same circle. Go through shit, distraction, go through shit, distraction, go through shit, distraction. And that's where I'm like, nah, fuck this. I'm going to get to the raw fucking truth. I want to change people permanently. I want to forever change people. I do not want to be a distraction, good or bad. I want to change people for the better. I want to change people's lives and change the way people fucking think. And that is what this is all fucking about. That is what this whole thing is about, and I'm so fucking excited. There's so many concepts, so many topics, so many things. I want you guys to know, because it's the shit. You know, I released a masterclass not too long ago, and I called it The Perfect Mindset. It was like an online course, and you know, to me, you know, I was like, these things changed my life. You know, this is exactly how I changed my life. These principles I'm teaching you right now is exactly how I changed my life. And I always got the same response by everybody. They're like, the principles you teach, they're shit we should know. You know, it's shit we go through. It's shit we think about every single day, but nobody recognizes it. And I'm like, exactly. You know, think about it like this. One of the principles I teach in the masterclass is the binary effect. The concept that life is yeses and nos. No matter what it is, no matter what you're doing, it is either a yes or no scenario, a yes or no situation. And you think to yourself, well, yeah, fucking no shit, Zane. Am I going to go out and eat? Yes or no? Am I going to order this? Yes or no? Am I going to get this done today? Yes or no? It's like, well, no shit. But I'm like, no, you're not getting it. Apply that to a tough situation. To a tough situation. You're going through some shit, dealing with something. You know you need to do something, but you don't know what to do, right? So you start asking yourself, am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? How do I respond? How do I react? How do I treat this situation? All of a sudden, throw a yes or no. Answer with yes or no. And all of a sudden, you realize how fucking simple everything is. How simple life is. See, people make life complicated. Life is not complicated. It's simple. It's yes or no, no matter what you do. And that's the binary effect. And that's what I'm trying to say is that, you know, these are things we think about every single day, but we don't see them for what they are. We neglect the value in them because of the way we've been raised, the way we've been taught, the way we've been guided, what we consume, what we listen to, what we hear, what we say, how we act, who we follow, who we hang out with. They play a part on who you are. And oftentimes you get so misguided that you completely lose grip of what the fuck matters. Really, what the fuck matters. And so that's what we're going to get into on this podcast, is that I want to change your guys' lives, change the way you think, change the way you see, feel, react to every situation in life. I want to 10x your life. I'm going to 10x your mindset and change the way you think. So, with that said, I'm going to leave you with this question. I want you to ask yourself, truly, sincerely, from the bottom of your heart, what the fuck matters? All right. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you so much. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you do not already, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, click a link somewhere if you're watching this, wherever you're watching this, or if you're listening to it to the podcast, check out my handles, Twitter at Zane Foy, official Instagram, Zane Foy, YouTube, Zane Foy. And you can also check out my Instagram for clips, more content, stuff like that. Plenty of stuff for you to see. My Twitter, all of it has plenty of content for you guys. Keep in touch. Feel free to DM me on Instagram or on Twitter or whatever it might be. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions or concerns or anything at all. If I can help you, please do not hesitate to DM me, reach out to me, get in touch with me. I would love to help you. I will see you guys in the next episode where we are going to talk about a concept that is going to help you manifest your own motivation, create your own motivation. We get this concept all the fucking time. I get this question a lot. How do you find motivation? Where does motivation come from? right? And you often think it comes from outside source, like inspiration or something. Oops. No, it doesn't. I'm going to completely fucking change the way you think about this, but motivation, it's a perspective. And I'm not going to tell you in this episode because I want to get into it in the next episode, but I promise you, it's once you hear it, you're going to be mad. You're going to be like, damn, that shit was so simple the whole fucking time. Trust me. And it's going to be really, really fucking cool. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Much love, everybody. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. And let's teach you how to create how to develop a never-ending supply of motivation. So much love. Talk to y'all later. Peace out.